Hello, hello, welcome to WIP IT Sundays. Running solo tonight, and got still working on the same project and a few others in the meantime. I got plenty to work on to keep me busy. We got Brunson in the house. Welcome, welcome, sir. Good to see you in the chat. Let's get some background music going. The legs, I shot a coat of primer on them. When you put primer on, it highlights all your flaws and things you gotta go back and address. It's like a few spots I'm marking out that I need to do some sanding. I might have to add some more epoxy on certain spots too. But overall, it's looking pretty good. I've taken up the leg muscles over here when I covered up the pinholes on this side. I'm widening out the legs. So I got everything marked out. Took a lead pencil and was circling all the areas I need to address. That transition through here in a couple spots. You sand. This thing with until you sand, a lot of times you can't see any of these defects or flaws. Not sand, I mean primer. One thing too, I gotta get some like these low spots. I can fill those in with my pencil. Those go away. I know my low spots are gone. Sector 2813 is in the house. Pixel Phantom. Hello, hello, everyone. I am still working on floor, and I got Gold Rush. Been everything prepped up before. I want to end up airbrushing the rest of the gold, but everything is deprocessed. I took it apart so I can brush paint all those areas. Get everything done so I can get good coverage. Also, too, when mentioned before, many times before, when you're painting your parts, always mask over your pegs and peg holes because you don't want painting those. You get painting those, and once you put it back together, over time it can seize up. It's a little low. I want to put some more epoxy on that one. Eventually, I need to get my airbrush station set up. Keep saying that, but I keep getting distracted. This week. I get the rooms where I'm gonna put it at cleaned out. The primer I'm using is an automotive filler primer, the Duplicolor. That's what I use to seal my figures with too. The Duplicolor clear top coat. I'll leave them shiny. Like on this one, I did a restoration on this one. I finally got one of these off eBay for a decent price. I got it for like $13.99 plus shipping. But when I got it, the silver is all chipped up and scratches across the red. So I ended up basically repainting the entire body, except for the boots and the head. Everything else got repainted, and I went ahead and just sent off the copyright information off his shiny metal ass. I repainted the red, so it's a really dull, like almost like a burgundy. So I wanted a little more vibrant red, so I clear coated it with automotive clear, so it's nice and shiny. But if you don't want to keep it finished, I go back over it with Mr. Hobby Matte Clear. I was using that stuff before it was cool. Brunson finally got a free day. Trying to figure out what character I want to draw. Sweet. Darth's in the house. Party on, Darth. Yep. So far solo. Maybe some of the guys might come on later on, but right now I'm solo. Cannon's in a snowstorm. Last time I talked to him, he was over at a foot of snow already, and power was flickering. And Mr. Don's at a birthday party. I got this Apoxie and that one. So whatever character you do, Brunson, I'm sure you're going to knock it out of the park. You do amazing work, my friend. Yes, sir. My go-to sealer is Duplicolor Automotive Clear Top Coat. That's what I seal all my figures in. If I needed the duller finish, I'll knock it back down with a Mr. Hobby Matte Clear. And those are my go-to paints for sealing. Brunson favorite is Punisher, and thanks, Key. Cool. You work with me, I mean it too. You do outstanding work. Definitely check out Brunson's artwork. You can check him up on Instagram, and he's got his own original comics as well. I got his Ghostman comic myself, and it's really good. He's working on a new one too. Pickle Detective. If I'm getting that right. Or Detective Pickle. Yeah, it's about as good as I want to get this one until I get the. I'll mix up some epoxy after I get through sanding and fill in that low spot. I think I got all the spots addressed I need it to right now. Nope, I see a spot. Okay, let me get the other one. And color in all the low spots in with my pencil. It's going to need some epoxy there too. I did the pins for the lower legs. When I filled those in, like the epoxy didn't cure normally. It took a lot longer than normal. I don't know if the ratio was off or what, so it caused some problem with those. It finally hardened. This is my witness piece, the leftover. It finally hardened like it should, but it took 2 days instead of overnight. Where's my Aves is? I bought it in 2012. Had it for a while. With running solo, you do got the benefit to seeing what I'm doing a little clearer over in full screen. Yep. Yeah, Fixit was working on a really cool custom dread figure. AK's in the house. Ken's evening. I'm not going to make it. I'll make stuff only to have brown out to lose my work. Also, don't think that's good on the computer. Yeah, you're working on a desktop now. Something wrong. Hello, family.
Family, 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 family.
Oh yeah, I got those. Try these out. Picked up some of these round files to try out. Sanding sticks. Saw these at Hobby Lobby. I was like, figured give one a try. They come in 150, 240, and 320. Don't know which is which. That's finer. I think the white's the coarsest. Just by feel alone. AK's no snow here in Florida. More aggressive sanding on a little rougher down here where I used to reshaped it with the Dremel. All for the boot rotation to work. Alrighty. Mix up some epoxy here in a moment. Just need a little bit. And here. On this one here. This one and this one needs epoxy. I got some right when they kicked off the 33% off, but didn't get much because all these already been picked clean. I grabbed a few things. I am working on my original character lore, and you have the torso. But, working on his legs right now. I made some good progress on the cape overlay piece, and did a little mock-up too, like with the what did I do that? There it is. I don't have no deal in mind. I made this for like in 5 seconds last night. Let's attach a soft goods cape to the back. Be two color, red on the inside, gray on the outside. And I was figuring like stop the gray before it gets to the top. That way the material's a little thicker, so it overlaps a little bit. Blend in. That way I can do a removable cape and have it fixed around the shoulders. And that what my goal plan is for cape. I got separate pips from the front too, where I can display it with or without a cape. Once I get this do I have an all-time favorite figure that I made? It's hard to pick just one. Prime is always going to be one of my favorites. My custom Prime, Ultra Rich Prime, which I have another one in the works. I need to get back to work on eventually too. I got also Sludge is another one of my favorites. Then I got Bruton, one of my original characters. Those are my top three. It's hard to pick just the one. Let's see what we got. Get caught up here on the chat. I say Molly's got wiped out. Yeah, this one I'm putting a lot of work into. I'm getting been tweaking the character design, getting it just right, and this one's basically implementing everything I've been doing to the character. This should be a really nice one all done. Interesting. I sculpted replicating this pattern on the back of the hand here, using this one for the base, but notice it's different on both hands. Yeah, I'm putting everything I know into this one. Combined effort too with Canon's done a lot of 3-part parts for it too. Like modeled them for them, and I was able to print them out. Some guy brought in a brand new vintage, unopened 84 Megatron and a ton of vintage Star Wars toys. He didn't know what they were. What? How do you have a toy store and not know what those are? Love Dinobots are my favorite. I love the Dinobots. When it comes to Transformers, there's some of my favorites. Grimlock's my all-time favorite Transformer. Just refining the costume. It's like it's been updating since I originally created the character, from the original design to actually I want to get back into start incorporating some of my original ideals for my very first concept into the newest updates of the cut. Tweak that a little bit. Sculpting. It's got to the point now where his look is kind of set. So I'm actually got a friend of mine who's a comic book pro doing character turnarounds for me of the character. When I did the fight scene, he's doing a turnaround for lore. You think the 84 Street Warrior line is the easiest to make? They had all the same bodies almost. I don't know. Oh, the owner did, but the seller didn't. I hope they didn't take advantage of them for that. Oh, that sounds like they did. Shockwave is awesome too. Like one of my favorite masterpiece figures. I got the Toy Dojo exclusive metallic gray Fans Toys Quake Wave. Back in the day, people called it Shockwave. It's just a cool looking bot. And it's such different personality between Marvel Comics Shockwave and Cartoon Shockwave. Cartoon is very loyal to Megatron, and comic book not so much. Nearly kills Megatron. He's a lot more powerful too. way more than what I need, but I'm mixing up a little extra so I can have a piece set to the side, make sure it cures enough properly. The 50-50 mix. I do remember the Buck Rogers. I didn't have any. It's a little before my time, but collecting in the 80s, the two things I was into the most was Master of the Universe and Transformers. I liked G.I. Joe, watched the cartoon. Didn't have a lot of G.I. Joe toys. Of course, I had to get Sergeant Slaughter and Triple T. I recently got the crossover one. I'll try to go to a con next month. It's local. Sergeant Slaughter is going to be there, and I got that. The crossover was where the Triple T turns into Cup. It comes with a retro card. It's O-ring Sergeant Slaughter. So I'd like to get that signed. I'll just leave it on the card. I don't need it. I'd open it up because I already got a vintage Slaughter and the Triple T. Let him know he's going to see if he can get some extra vendor passes. That way we can just go in the back door and not have to wait an hour to get in. I've done that once there. I was like, yeah, let's not do that again. It's in Virginia. I haven't opened it up yet. I'm going to check to see if it's not really nice. I'll get one of my Marauder Sergeants signed. Hopefully the card's good. It's in Roanoke, Virginia, Big Lake Comic Con. Make sure I get this mixed up really good. I don't want this. What happened last time was take 2 days to cure properly. It's a pretty big con now. It's like it started out as a single day con and it just kept getting bigger and bigger, and now it's a 2-day con. Yep. It is indeed. Yeah, it makes no sense. And why are they subcontracting making O-ring figures to Super 7 when they can make them themselves? Every now and then I've sold some pieces, not many. I mainly make stuff for myself, but every so often I will look. Sold my Final Form Prime. That's why I gotta make a new one for myself. I got all the parts to make it. I've been kind of focused on making my original character stuff a lot here lately. Melissa Fairborn. And a Cobra Commander did. I know he did in the Transformers. And the Cops cartoon series 2 was a continuation of Transformers, G.I. Joe, because one of the Cops was the grandson of Beachhead. Pick up the first wave of those Super 7 O-rings. Best thing things I've opened from them, but almost $20 each. They had to be. Nice card stock too. Melissa Fairborn was it's one of those things too. Like I would like to see like the G.I. Joe classified line, since Hasbro owns G.I. Joe, owns Transformers. Do some like a Transformer human cast in classified. I'd totally buy those. Another one too, like the Pretender shells when they did the Pretenders. You do those like a 6-inch action figure form. Those would be really cool, like the armored warriors. Like in Japan, they were the size of humans in their Pretender form. A little bit more over up to that one just to be safe. With this Aves Fixit sculpt, you can just use water to work the clay, the epoxy. With green stuff, you got to use their sculpting Vaseline. This stuff here is, if you're working with green stuff, this stuff is a must. It's so sticky without it. A little more on that one too. Just counting up all the parts I put on this version of lore. I think I've got parts off of 11 figures. If you count the castings. Hmm. Looks good. There we go. Now let's make some adjustments to this that I scoped it last time. Ooh, those little round file things. What do I do with those? Perfect. These little round files, sanding files. What's the average amount of time it takes for you to create something you're really proud of? Really depends. Sometimes I can, on the complexity of the, if it's take apart, I've been proud of stuff like just take it apart and repaint it and enjoy it that way. But also the ones I really take my time with, that could spend like weeks to a couple months working on off and on. I usually work on multiple projects at the same time, and this one was on the back burner for a while. Then I got back working on it, and this required a lot of unique sculpting to it. So this one, I've been working on this one for the past few weeks, and of course I work on it don't work on it all nonstop. I work on it during the live streams a lot. It really varies. It's just couldn't really say right off like how many hours like it takes for me to be happy with something, because I can make something and be gorgeous too and not be happy with it, because I see, or making it, I know all the little ins and outs of it, any kind of little flaw it might have, and that be the only thing I see, and nobody else sees it, and it drives me crazy. That's probably true as well. I do graphic design too for a living as well. Do web development, graphic design. Funder projects is anytime I get to print something, it's always the funnest project. Something about still physical media, I still love it. That's why the hobby here is it's all physical. All the different sculpting tools I got. This is the main one I use. It's old. I've reshaped the head of it a few times. Considered CAD and HTML at one time many moons ago. That I went to school for 3D animation, but at the time I was graduating, all the jobs were either in Florida or California, and I didn't want to move either one of those places. No offense, anybody lives there. It's just plus two, my dad wasn't in good health, and I stuck close by. And so I kind of changed my focus to work on more 2D stuff, graphic design and HTML, and JavaScript and PHP, which nobody hardly uses PHP anymore. Well, at least it worked. It's gone to, don't have a hosting service anymore. We got content management system. I still hand code stuff for it. CSS is always fun. Cascading style sheets. Alright, that looks better. Looks kind of terrible right now, but once it hardens up, I can sand it smooth. Actually, it's one of the things I actually considered when back in the day was also too before you got into computer graphics was movie effects, movie makeup. I used to get those Fangora books from the grocery store. always thought all that stuff was so cool. What material I'm using? I am using Aves Fixit. And I would suggest don't get this size. This size is way too big. This is what part A, part B. It's 1.5 pound each. It's 3 pounds. I've had this since 2011, 2012. The same 2 cans. And I customize a lot. And I'm about halfway through it. You don't need that big size. I didn't know no better at the time when I ordered it. I hadn't sculpted a single thing when I ordered that stuff. I didn't even realize I ordered the wrong thing at the time, because a lot of people use is that. There it is. A lot of people use this Epoxy Sculpt from Aves. I bought the Fixit. I like the Fixit. Now, can you get more refined sculptures with Epoxy Sculpt? Yes, without a doubt. But when you're doing like some simpler like stuff, like wanting to just make smooth pieces, filling holes and stuff, Fixit's so much better for that. It's much harder when it cures. This is like a rock when it's cured. Now the hardener will try to dry on you a little bit. Same way with like Epoxy Sculpt does it faster than the Fixit Sculpt, but all I have to do is put you a little bit of water in it, let it sit for a day or two, and it softens back up. If I want to sculpt something organically flowing and something like that, I would use the green stuff, like with the wrinkles on this cape overlay I made. That's green stuff. get similar style. Big thing too for me is trying to keep my big old mitts from squishing after I sculpt it. Good. This side so I don't squish it. It's a little, top of it's a little rough, but once it dries, I'll sand it smooth. I'll sand out thin it down. We use some of it to try to get all these seams to go away on this. I got really good on this one. On the Vulcan arms, they get those lower parts where there's a seam where you can glue. They're glued on and they're swappable for different glove pieces. I don't want those visible. Virginia, around here didn't get too bad with snow eyes. The canceling schools and stuff though, but they're probably thinking it's going to hit more overnight. Right now, it's like there's like an inch or so outside. Maybe 2. Well, that's like my check. It could be pouring the snow for all that matter. I know right now. But I can work remotely, so I don't have to go in the office tomorrow. I'll just work here. Surprised it's not bad in my area. The Cannon's got over a foot last time I talked to him. He's got some crazy. Oh, can you use water to keep epoxy from being sticky? Depends on your epoxy. But if it's Aves or Fixit, yes. That's how I smooth it out. But with green stuff, you need sculpting Vaseline. I think you can use regular Vaseline too, but just to be safe, I just use the Aves. Well, not the Aves, the green stuff. I've had this for a while, and this is all I've used out of it. I got this from their eBay store. Sorry, something. It's hard to keep up the chat from myself. Working on the customs and keeping up chat. It's a little difficult. What to work on next? Stuff it all has to set for in the morning before I can do anything. Do you remember that store from the 80s called Something to Do? I don't. I grew up in a small town, so to see like any like big shops, we did drive like 2 hours. I'm going to basically set this to the side. I can check this in the morning if this is hard. I know the epoxy set up properly. I was like there's a guy that does like show you like making silicone molds. When he's running resin, he calls it his witness, like a leftover resin. He calls it his witness cup. That's my witness clay. Well, that sounds cool. Like models and scientific stuff. It was a cool store. That's cool. I got my Barney Ross that I got eventually to get to working on. Basically, got to pin up all the heads. I don't feel like doing that right now. But I may do some work on my Wonder Woman head. I'm doing something a little different because everybody uses this one uses the Power Pinterest head for Wonder Woman, which is a great head sculpt, Wonder Woman head sculpt. But I got this DC Direct head that I've been repainting. I got half the face done. I get the other side done. Fine tip there. That's my brush I'm looking for. For paintbrushes, Token Customs recommended fingernail art brushes, and they're cheap. They're super fine tipped. You can get them in bulk. These things work great. Now, to replicate what I did before. My hand's steady enough for that tonight. have to get a fresh brush. Oh. Snap, crackle, pop, my knees. Where am I going? Here we go. Found the ones I'm looking for. Recently got these. Oh. No. Ooh, I like that one. I like that one. Ooh, even finer. Look at that. Look how fine that tip is. It's all right. My favorite Marvel characters. Incredible Hulk. I have a fondness of the merged Hulk, also known as the Professor, with the comic book style, not the MCU style. That's where when I start reading comic. My first Marvel comic I picked up to buy for myself was Incredible Hulk number 400. I backed up and got a lot of the back issues from that, but that was the first one I bought. Then Ghost Rider is my second favorite in Marvel. Danny Ketch Ghost Rider, that is. Those are my favorites. Frank Castle Punisher is always great too. That was a full cover, and there is actually a variant of it not foil too. That was harder to get. I think I have both covers. Gary, one thing. I always liked Gary Frank's art style too on the Hulk. When it comes to the merged Hulk, I don't think there's any better artist drawing the merged Hulk than Gary Frank. Del Keown he did the art on his first appearance, but I like Gary's take on the character the best. And Danny Ketch Ghost Rider is just so badass. So it's like, before I actually put the paint on my brush, I'm actually going through practicing what I'm going to actually do when I put the paint on the brush. Come on. Behave. Getting paint on the brush. What is going on? Hang on, messing up. Does anybody know if John Byrne ever did a run on the Incredible Hulk? Everything he wrote is usually fantastic. I don't know. Most stuff I read was Peter David, and going through and retouching up the skin tones, and I goofed up, but I'll have to let that dry before I try another round on the eye. I was able to mix up a batch of flesh tone that's pretty close to the Power Princess skin tone. I just need to use this brush a little bit more to get, like it's not wanting to wick paint up into it. Well, that's my first experience with the Hulk was Bill Bixby, watching the show as growing up. I still think it's weird that they didn't want to call him Bruce Banner, to David Banner. They call him David Banner, which is the name of his father, which, if you know anything about the Incredible Hulk, which is so bad to call him David Banner. The reasoning for not calling him Bruce was silly too. Ever consider sculpting like Legend Series Pro golfers and card them? I've never seen any. Thought it might be sale on eBay. To golf fans anyway. Still shocked that Frank Miller's never written a Punisher run. He hasn't? That seems weird. Seems like it's right up his alley. Yep. So small eyes are very hard to do and keep symmetrical. Everything has to go just right. Yeah, I was trying to do the eyelashes. I got the eyelashes on the other side. It's like, I am so dominantly right-handed. I wish I was ambidextrous. It'd make things so much easier. This is Tombstone, a David Bruce banner. Then they explained that once. I forget what I said though. Yeah, it's one of those things I don't want to say on YouTube for the reasoning. Oh, she would be great for that. Hasbro would be stupid not to use this base body to make a classic Valkyrie. Just give us a new. Basically, just need a new. They make this black piece is a separate piece, and they're going to just make a new upper torso, new lower legs, new rear belt, and new head sculpt, and some different bracers. And be a great classic Valkyrie. You already got boot swivel, so it'd be easy to do. Yeah, I was looking at that too. It's like the sculpt on her too. It's got a little lip right above the eyes, and that's what I was catching. I wasn't getting into that recessed area. I kept hitting the upper part. I was like, they did really good over here. I got all the eyelashes. Over here, not so much. Yeah, that's it. I said Bruce said it less manly. That's a good idea. That's a good way to say it, Brunson. Yeah, the pictures I've seen of her, the paint on her face looks phenomenal. It's like, why weren't you doing that from the beginning? That figure is just outstanding looking. And these are terrible, but I will use the brush tones to paint and just clean it up that way. Have a plan of action already. How to touch them up. Have a good night, sir. Now, speed things along. To take my black wash to right above her eye like a mascara. Now we need, where's it at? Mahogany wash. There it is. Ooh. No. See what I got. Let's get our eyebrow done. Nail art brushes. I don't like this brush that much. Look, it won't hold paint. And we'll go back to my favorite brush right now. It looks pretty even. Actually, I can. Yeah, I want it to be a little different from everybody else's Wonder Woman they're doing. Everybody and their cousins seem to be doing a Wonder Woman off the Power Princess, which is great base, great ideal. No issues. Anybody wants to do that. But I had this head sculpt already laying around. I thought it'd be nice to do something a little different. That sounds like a cool idea. Let me see if shares a lot of parts with Angela. Different head sculpt, but a lot of the parts with the Angela figure. Focus. Let's turn on the app. Focus. There it goes. One thing I always liked about this head sculpt, I think it favors Lucy Lawless a lot. Back in the day, it's actually be great base for a comic book style Xena Warrior Princess. I don't know if anybody caught the Easter egg in the House of Madness. Not the House of Madness, the Doctor Strange 2 and the Multiverse of Madness. With the alternate universe for the Illuminati's there, that statue that looks like Wonder Woman and that when they're fighting Scarlet Witch, that's Xena. What do you do with all these when they're done? Put them on my shelf. For the most part. That is mostly what I do. So I am going to not put flat feet on her, took off the high heels. What I'm going to do, when you do that though, it gives an optical illusion that her lower legs are too short. They're not. It's because all this gold. So what I'm going to do is paint this red, this red, this red, leave the bands gold. And they put a stripe down here to do that. And just paint, or do I want to sculpt that? Ponder on that. So always just do the styrene method too, which we'll probably end up doing. Yep, that's good size too, I think. Plus it hides the seam down the middle of the foot. Just cover that up. Let's do a little more paint work on him. I've been repainting all the gold with a lot nicer gold. Repainted his basically his face. See, the lips were painted weird. The gold was flaking off the earpiece here, so I ended up the gold was badly painted, so repaint it. I got a brand new one. I need a whole station. I need to get set up. I just need to make space for it. I'm planning on airbrushing the rest of this gold, and when I get into painting him, I'll be doing airbrushing. So I gotta get the room. I want to put the airbrush station set up. I don't do a lot of airbrush. One of the things that irks me is when people are trying to get into the hobby, people are asking questions like, how do you get smooth finishes? If everybody's like, airbrush. It's like, you get smooth finishes with a paintbrush. The key is go multiple coats, light coats. When your paint starts getting tacky, stop. That's where you get brush strokes. And when you seal it, it'll smooth things out too. The sealer is the magic stuff I use. Well, hi everyone. Anyway, when you have a key, it's like coming in like near the end of the string. That's going to go for 2 hours and call it a night. But welcome. I'll definitely take masking. That's what I did when I was restoring this. Used a lot of masking. I definitely recommend the Tamiya or however you pronounce it, masking tape. They got lots of different widths on this stuff, and you'll get your cleanest seam lines with that stuff. It's going to come off. Paint's getting thick. Gotta stop. That's when you're working with this lacquer stuff. It starts. You got a shorter work time. Shake it up and start over. Always welcome, Namelfield. I'm glad you stopped by. Now, that property, it seems silly that nobody does with anything with it, is Thundar. That is like perfect for a cinematic universe, or like do like a live action movie style thing. Around that property would be really cool. You got sword and sorcery, technology, science fiction, all together. McFarlane figure wanting a McFarlane. Facets will move easily. Hulk smash! And also Pirates of Dark Water, yeah, that's a good one too. So they're finally doing the new Motu movie. Obviously, a lot of overlap there. If it ever gets made, that's been so many production studios like talking about doing a new Motu movie. I'd be surprised if it gets made. They're already talking about, oh, we gotta change things up for a modern audience. One of the actors already said, the actor playing He-Man said that. It's not going to be like the original show. We got to change it up for modern. It's going to be darker. Well, let's do the mini comic storyline. There's been so many like comic book stories, continuities of Master Universe. I'll tell you, if they're going to do like a good story, use 2000X as the base. I love that series. That's what I would love to see, is bring back Mike Young and his team and let them finish out that series. Let's get us our season 3. Change it up for people that won't want to watch it. Yeah. I do think this one's going to get made. I don't think some of the changes to the IP is a deal breaker. That they just need to actually make a good movie. However, it ends up like they seem, if they can, the modus operandi for like a lot of these companies anymore, they'll take an established IP and completely twist it and change it to where the fans don't. That's the built-in fan base don't like it. When they did when DC did the New 52, the Motu comics they did were great. Never did read those. I was not a fan of New 52. Throwing out all the continuity from post-crisis and starting over, I just didn't like the idea of that. It didn't need to be done, and they definitely should never canceled Action Comics and Detective Comics and started over at number 1. I know they've brought back the legacy numbering, but they canceled the longest running comic books ever. Yes, they're still going now, but it's not the same book. They canceled it, and they just added 52 to the number and start adding another number on it, just like it's. That was one of the biggest screw ups. Alrighty, I think that's going to call the night, guys. And I'll probably end up doing a at-home stream on Tuesday. I've had the box for a couple weeks. Just hadn't been a good time to do a stream on Tuesdays. So I'll do one definitely this Tuesday, since we won't have a WIP It Thursday this week. But anyway, thank you again for coming out and hanging out tonight while I do some customizing. And if you have any other questions, always feel free to hit me up online. And we have a Discord set up where we talk shop too and other geeky stuff. Link is down below. And until then, we'll catch y'all next time. Have a good one.